And I hope everyone can hear me. Yes. Okay. Can you please let me know if you can hear me? Yep. All right. Thanks, Amanda. I'm going to get Sharon started. Why is my hair doing this? It's okay. I tried, everyone. Sharon, I am going to promote you to panelist. There we go. I can't hear you. Unmute. Wait. Let me unmute you. I'm unmuting you. Perfect. Say something.
Something.
No.
Oh.
Oh, I was muting myself, but I can't hear you.
Okay, hold on. Same
Okay.
thing. Where is that? I'm fine. Fine. She's quiet as usual. Well, you can't hear me at all?
Log off and log back on.
Wait.
Oh, you can hear her? Oh, maybe it was me. My volume might have been down. Hey, my volume was down. Don't be mad at me.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. And I was like, this time I checked. This should be working.
It was me. I didn't check.
Well then. Okay. So, hi, how you doing?
I am just exhausted. I don't know if everyone's been feeling the same way over the past couple of weeks, but that's how I feel every day.
I think that's a tendency we have to have when we are running our own businesses, right?
Yes, but I mean, it's one of those things where I wake up and I feel like, oh God, I want to go back to sleep. So,
you know what I did yesterday? Irrelevant, completely. Very important, though. I took a nap in the evening, okay? 7 to 9. Suddenly, super weird, guys, super weird. And then I had all like chunk of the night when I was super, super productive. And I went to sleep at 3 and woke up at 6.
Wow.
I'm just saying, I think I'm onto something here.
I think naps are great. They say they are. But I like when you said you took a nap, it was a 2-hour nap because that's my kind of nap. I don't do the 20 minutes.
That's the right kind of nap. What is like 10 minutes is a nap?
That's
10
what people say.
You can do in 10 minutes.
People say 20 minutes. I don't believe in that. I need a couple hours. That's
20 minutes is just the time that it takes me to fall asleep. Like, what? Anyway, so rest. Take care of yourself, rest, and you'll feel better.
I am going to try, but I don't think I'm allowed to rest until the May long weekend. I will rest then.
Okay.
Too many things coming up, everyone. Too many things. I'm trying to plug in my Fitbit as we speak. I don't have that many steps for the day. Don't get excited, everyone. And don't send me any requests for challenges because I'll lose. And don't like to lose, but I would actually force myself to go out for walks so that I don't lose because I don't like to lose.
I had a friend one time. She had those like counting whatever steps.
Fitbit, yeah.
Yeah, and she was trying to win against her sister to see who's going to get more steps. And we were at a party together. And she was like, oh, I was like so much behind. I'm like 2,000 steps behind. And I'm talking to her, and as I'm talking, I have a lot of energy. I was like bouncing next to her. And she's like, would you wear it for me and just put on steps? Like, just keep on talking and walking like you do. I'm just like, sure. So in like half an hour, I got her the 2,000 steps that she needed.
Wow.
And I was like, do you need it back or should I just keep counting? I'm like, I have no problem. It's all good.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
Cheryl, yes, there will be a recording. This whole thing is being recorded and it will be sent out to everyone who registered.
Good, because we already covered some really major topics.
Yes, we're talking about the great things in life. Please tell us about yourselves, everyone, while we're here chatting. And I can tell you a little bit about what we have coming up, why I'm going to be so exhausted. So next week, Friday, we're having our meetups because it is the first Friday in the month. I haven't posted them yet, but we'll be having our meetups. I'm going to try to post those tonight. And then next week, Saturday, is the Michelle Obama shindig at the Scotiabank Theater, and we are giving away a few tickets for that. So check out our website to find out how you can win tickets.
Nice.
Then next Sunday, there's a great charity event. A friend of mine, Gabby Mamone, she is celebrating her 10 years of finding out that she has MS. So she's doing a huge fundraiser for the MS Society here in Mississauga. So I'll be going to that. And then on the 14th, or no, the 15th, we have our event in Niagara. So it's just guns blazing for that one. And then, maybe after that, I'll rest a bit. But we have quite a bit going on that I'm excited about. And
yeah, sounds super exciting.
It is. But I mean, the thing to be the most excited about, if you know me, I love summer. So I'm so excited to see the temperature do this. I'm living for the fact that I'm looking out my window and it's 8:06 and it's still bright out.
Right.
You might see some of the summer webinars with me being outside with headphones because I love being outside. But
sweet.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We should do full webinars, I think.
The full ones? What?
Full webinars.
Ooh, you're onto something.
I think I am onto something. Because anything that you add pool to sounds so much better.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
He's onto something. It might be happening. It might be happening. So I'm going to not talk anymore. I have my book and my pen and paper ready to learn. And I'm going to hand it over to Sharon because Sharon, this is the third part of a 3-part series.
That's right.
And I'm telling you, I will repeat what I said on the last webinar. Make sure you're ready to write because you're going to find a lot of stuff that is going to give you some aha moments. I've already started incorporating some things that Sharon doesn't know about yet that I learned from the last webinar.
Nice.
So everyone will be seeing some changes in our newsletters coming.
Good.
So yeah, I think I probably made an announcement at the end of Amanda's webinar last week or a couple weeks ago. But yeah, I'm kind of tying some things in and I'm changing some things up. You'll be impressed. I can't wait for your review.
Awesome.
So enough of me. I'm going to share my screen. And someone did say, what would be the appropriate attire for pool webinar? Whatever you want to wear.
I think you know.
Anything that you feel comfortable in. Be comfortable in your own skin. We're here for it. I'm going to share my screen so that, you don't have to look at this pretty face the whole time, but you can look at that pretty face right there. There we go. Sharon, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. Well, like I said last time, because this is the third piece, you may hear some things that you've heard before about, the meaning of branding and why branding is so important. But I'm still going to cover just the basics, just in case we have new people, or honestly, just so you can hear it again and get it right in your head. Okay. The good news are that the topic we're covering today is actually more relevant to the more common use of the word branding. It's actually more about your design elements. So when I say branding, I'm actually right now talking more about the way you look. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, and I'm just going to ask you again something that I always ask, if you guys know what is branding, right? Because branding means a lot of things to a lot of people, but I have my own definition that I think helps a lot of people understand the value in getting branding first. Okay, so the branding is the art of controlling perception. That's on the next slide. Art of controlling perception. What does that mean? It means that you need to know what your message is, and you create the scenario, the environment, everything around it, that you know what people feel and think about you. Okay? Branding, when it comes to design, a lot of people, say, it's your logo and whatever, but these elements need to support your message. These elements are instruments to maintain a great connection with your clients or potential clients. So and this is on the next slide, I always say that good branding is like, it creates an emotional connection. Because if we have to, give examples of different brands that are very meaningful to us and we spend a lot of money on, we realize that the reason we spend a lot of money on them and the reason why we're so loyal to them is because of an emotional connection. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Hold on, it's coming. I'm ready. No, it ran away. I could feel it was going to do that. I was holding it down, so I'm like, it knew that it shouldn't come out. Okay, so think about what kind of brands you have emotional connections with, whether it's, I don't know, maybe the kind of purse you buy, the kind of phone you like, maybe you prefer iPhones over Android because of an emotional connection. We all know that a lot of Apple users, they feel that this is part of their identity, right? They're just like, oh no, I always buy Apple. Like, this is important to me. I actually even saw, I think it was something online, like some kind of an article about people getting excited by the sound of an Apple computer turning on. Like, it actually makes them like feel something, like excited and
I can
ready for the day.
Because I'm not an Apple person, but my example is going to be a little weird because I love the sound of like soda, like, like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, like
Yeah.
But I don't drink soda, but I just love the sound because it makes me feel like, it's a summer beverage and it's time to party and have some fun.
It's connected to an emotional experience, and it totally makes sense. And you can probably think of things like that as well. I mean, this is an example of a sound, but this is also has to do with like smells and things like that, right? Like I like the smell of sunscreen, because to me that's summer, that's pool, that's fun times, right?
Wow.
So like, even though it doesn't smell like anything nice, they're just like, sunscreen, yeah, party time, right? So I know it's very basic, but we don't even think about it. These the way things smell, the way things sound, and the way things look actually affect us more than we realize. And that is why the art of the way you look is so delicate, because by choosing colors or using specific fonts or even the way you balance things out, you create associations and emotions in people's minds that they don't even know where they're coming from. Okay? And I'm sure you've seen it before, when sometimes something makes you feel uncomfortable and you're not sure why, but somebody's able to point out that it looks very similar to something negative. Okay, I can give like a very, like, I don't know if it's going to resonate with a lot of people, but there was a very, like, there was a design, a shirt design that somebody did on like some company, I don't remember which one it was stripes like that, and their logo is some kind of a triangle that is yellow. So they had a yellow triangle here and this striped shirt, okay, like these kind of stripes. And it was fine, but for a lot of people, because I'm from Israel, okay, for a lot of people where I'm from, they're like, this looks like what people in concentration camps used to wear. So immediately, not only they're turned off by the design, they're turned off by the company. So just so you realize, they didn't do anything that actually looked like it, but it's enough to create these associations, these like bridges in people's heads, and they're like, what the hell is that, right? So this is an extreme example, but the truth is it's like that with a lot of different things, okay? Hold on, I'm just following my slides here. So we're gonna move to the next one, and this is something that I always say: a relationship between a company and its customer is like a romantic relationship. And the reason I say that is because I think it makes it a lot easier for people to understand the kind of dynamic they need to have with their clients, with their customers. And it's really some kind of like a seduction like experience. Like, you need to be sweet to them, you need to show them that you care about what they care about, you need to show them that you know them. It's basically like being in a relationship. And on their side, the customer side, they need to know that you're the right company for them. So they need to like you, they need to feel like you care about them, and otherwise they have no reason to choose you or stay with you. because there are many people out there that do what you do. We all know that. The competition is huge, right? So the only reason why they would stay with you and care about you enough to just stop looking around, like stop shopping around for other options, is because you make them feel something special. So that's feeling something special is not, accidental, and it's not through writing like, oh, I care about you. And it's not like this kind of like direct messaging. So think about it this way. If you're going out on a date, right? What is the first thing that you do to make sure that this is going to be a good date? You look good and you smell good, right? That's the next line. That's the first thing that you do. So that is why the visual aspect of branding is so crucial. And because this is the first thing that you need to do to show that you care. When you show up and you look good and you smell good, the other person on the date knows that you care. You care about yourself, you care about them, you care enough about the date to invest in yourself, right? This is the same thing for a company. You look good, you smell good, it means that you care about yourself. And if you care about yourself, you're going to care about them. Okay? So the question is really, does looking good means the same for everybody, right? Because, if you look good, what does that mean? You look pretty, or you design your company pretty? It's not the same, okay? That is why I always say that you need to know your target market, because without knowing your target market, you don't know what looking good means to them, okay? So the reason why you need to focus on that and why it's a really crucial aspect, next slide, is people are always looking for reasons not to buy from you. And this is really important. Listen to this again. People are looking for reasons not to buy from you all the time, okay? Now, they don't really mean to. They're not trying to be like mean and be like, I can find all the reasons why not to buy from you. It's because it's easier. It's easier not to buy. It's easier not to do something than do something, okay? So our minds are built to feel to feel comfortable, to feel easy, to choose no friction, no difficulties, no challenges. This is what our mind always wants, okay? So any reason that your mind can find of not doing something, you will hold on to that reason. And think about yourself, and you're probably the same way, because we're all humans and we operate the same way. So the easiest reason for people not to buy from you is you not looking good. So like, you shouldn't give them that many reasons anyway to do it, but this is the easiest one you can take care of. Which means if you're and I just met someone like that, by the way. I just met someone who showed me his business card and told me how his theory is that it doesn't really matter what you look like, because, people just want something simple and easy. And, he shows me his website. He just built it, and it looks like he built it like 10 years ago. And he's like, because it's easy. It looks like it's white, it's easy, there's nothing complicated. I'm just like, I don't think you understand what it means when somebody goes on your website and it looks like that. Because the impression that you're giving is that you haven't updated your website for 10 years, which means you don't care about your company enough, which means you don't care about your clients enough. And again, people don't go through that thinking process, like, sitting there being like, oh, this doesn't look good, I bet he doesn't care. No, this happens in like 2 seconds. And you know that. You tell me now, if you look for different options, you Google search something, I don't know, kindergartens, okay, in your area, and you open 3 different ones, the first ones that appeared on Google, and one of them has a pretty shitty website. Isn't it already at the bottom of your list?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it made a wrong impression on you. It doesn't look good. It doesn't. Or what about the ones that you click on something and it takes, 15 seconds till it loads a page? Aren't you already pissed at them? Like, I don't like you already, right?
Yep.
So you have to understand, don't give people reason not to buy from you. And those are the easiest reasons not to listen to you, not to buy from you, not to be a part of this, okay? Just so you realize. What you look like matters, okay? I can go to the next page. What you look like really, really matters. It doesn't just matter to you, but it matters to everybody around you. Even when it comes to attracting people to work for you, and even if you're interested in some media exposure, and if anybody's attention, if you're trying to get anybody's attention, it matters. And it's like that even the way you dress up, right? Like when you just get out of bed and you just like don't really care about yourself and you go for a meeting, is that meeting going to go very well? Are you going to make a good impression there? No, right? Your business, same thing. Your business needs to be dressed up just like the way you dress up every day. That impression really matters because people judge you all the time. Okay, you know that? Don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah, because people do that. Because we always judge books by their cover. We judge people by their cover, like this. Okay, you know that about yourself. So you know, like you don't even have to. Like you know that. You know, I know that I do that too. People just, you look at someone, he's like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know anything. And then when do you ever give them a chance to really earn that, you know, your trust back? Barely, right? Barely, because you already made up your opinion. So next, on branding, it needs to be ongoing. So that's why I call it strategic seduction, because if you want to look good, you do it all the time, right? Because, and I've said that before, it's very similar. If you try really hard to seduce and attract the right kind of person to you on a date, and then, you know, you get married and then you stop trying, they're going to start looking somewhere else.
I feel like it's just to have a bad day.
One bad day is not the worst, okay? It's fine. But you know what I mean. When you know what it's like to be in a relationship when you see the other side is just stops trying, stops, right? They don't put the same effort as before. They don't even give it a chance. They don't ask you out on a date. They don't show you they care. You just keep looking around, and we don't even think about it. Even if you are in a relationship that is committed, right? And you're not happy because you feel like the other side doesn't care about you, you keep constantly looking around. These are your clients. Your clients are like, I'm not that happy. Like, I'm okay, but I'm not that happy. So they're going to keep looking around like, oh, this guy is interesting, better, cheaper, nicer, who knows, right? Right? When you're in a good relationship, you don't care. Trust me. When you get in a great relationship and somebody comes to you and like flirts with you and whatever, you're just like, ha ha ha, good for you, buddy. See you later. Right? But if you're not happy, you're just like, oh my God, somebody's giving me attention. That's fun. I can just flirt a little bit. It's okay. Right? So think about it. Same thing for your clients. They're not that happy. They're not that loyal. Okay? So now I'm going to talk about some elements that are really crucial because I'm not going to cover everything today because usually it takes, you know, I do like a whole workshop about that. But I'm going to talk about something really crucial first. Consistency. When it comes to your design elements and the way you look, consistency is extremely important because people, like I said before, everything is just automatically happening in their head. So if you have consistent colors, consistent style in like every single element of your design, they're associating everything that they see faster to you, to your message, and to the way you make them feel. So you basically don't have to build this kind of trust and loyalty and emotional connection all the time. You build it and then you maintain it through this consistency. It's right now I'm talking about visual consistency, but the truth is it's on all aspects, right? You probably notice that if you think about other companies, but you know what it's like when you see like an ad or a commercial and you already know which company it belongs to. That happens through this consistency. It's intuitive. You don't even have to think. You're just like, I know what it is, right? Like you see an ad, you know it's McDonald's before you even see their stupid logo. Because something about the font, the layout, everything is exactly the same every time. It makes you feel exactly the same. Probably a little hungry. That's all I gotta say. So think about that. Every time you think you need to reinvent the wheel or create some kind of an image, whether if it's like on your social media or your newsletter or anything that you do or a flyer, and you think that it needs to be super awesome, super cool, super different, think about this consistency because that matters more than this one-off super cool kind of design. Because one-off super cool kind of design, It means you need to earn that emotional connection again. If you already have emotional connection, what you want them to do is recognize you immediately. Recognize you. They recognize you, they feel already about something about you because they already care. That's why consistency is so, so, so important. And small businesses, my God, never know how to do that properly. Okay? So act as if you're like a big company with an advertising agency by your side, and make sure that you know your colors, your exact colors, not red and then do like 1,000 different kinds of red. Okay? Know your red, know your yellow, know your colors, know your fonts, know your style. Keep it the same kind of feeling. Okay, that was my point. It was really important for me to make. Now, how do you decide how you're going to look? There's 2 questions you always need to ask yourself. Okay, and I always say that because this is the key to figuring out your branding. Okay, 1, who is your target market? Next. Who is your target market? You need to know them very, very well. And I don't want to hear an answer like, oh, everybody's my target market. That's the worst answer. And I also don't want to hear a target market as if you're like some kind of a genius in the advertising world. Oh, it's women from the age of 40 to 45, and they work like this, and they do this, and they do. No, listen, if you're a huge company and you know how to handle that kind of information, cool. If you're not, and I'm assuming you're not, then the actual answer is, what is their lifestyle and what do they really want? What do they really want? Because they don't really want your target, your service or your product. What they really want is something that your service or product can eventually give them. More time to be with their family, maybe. More freedom to do whatever they want. More money so they can have a crazier lifestyle that they always wanted. That's what they really want. Okay, your target or service, that's something on the way there. Okay, if you're selling makeup, you're not selling makeup. You're selling, this image of who you could be and how attractive you'll be and how you're going to feel about yourself. Feeling good about yourself, that's a huge thing. That's more important than makeup. So when you're selling me makeup, I'll say, I have makeup. If you're selling me that I am going to feel good about myself, good, I don't have that yet. You know what I mean? So know your target market, know what they really, really want. Second question, what is your message? What is the message that you're trying to get to your target market? Again, your message is not, I sell this, okay? Your message is something else. It's an inspiration. It's relieving some kind of a pain or issue that they're dealing with. So if you know the target market, you know what is the message that you want to give them. And I think it was in the seminar, at the seminar in Markham, when I gave the example of Coca-Cola, which I love to give because everybody knows that brand. They don't sell their drinks. Like, that's not what they sell. They sell happiness. That's their message. And by the way, they're very consistent about it. Okay, it's been like this for many, many years now. Even if they're changing their advertising, their marketing campaigns are all different, the message is the same. Why? Because the message is the brand. The brand stays, the marketing evolves. Okay, that's why there's a difference there. So if you know the message, you actually create much better connection with your target market. Okay, because happiness is something we all want. We don't want juice, we want happiness. Okay, so please understand, it sounds crazy how simple it is and how big happiness is, but you make that connection through your branding elements, and one of them is the way you look. I tell you, go see some commercials, some old commercials, some new commercials by Coca-Cola, and you see the style that they use visually to make you feel happy, welcome, connected. I mean, come on, their campaign about finding people around you and all that. Like, these are super powerful messages. Look at that. I want you to actually look at these things with new set of eyes, okay?
I think one of the coolest things they did too was having everyone try to find that bottle or can of Coke with their names on it. And then people like
Absolutely.
me, whose name is very unique, they did have spots in the sun. I know they did come to Toronto with their truck and they would actually make a can with your name on it.
So you tell me if that's not a personal, emotional connection.
That is fantastic. Like I said, I don't drink soda, but I would line up for that, right?
Absolutely.
I would go
Absolutely.
buy
And
it.
that's my point. That's my point. And now you talk about it with a smile. You
Yeah.
have a positive feeling about Coca-Cola, which means probably when you have your next party or whenever you have a choice between Coca-Cola or Pepsi, you're going to choose Coca-Cola
Oh,
because
most
you care about them. You know what I mean? You already have a relationship there.
yeah.
So that's what it is. This is what you are to your clients. You need to have an emotional connection that they don't even care about your competitors, even if you're more expensive. Okay? And I don't care if you don't drink cola, if this is not like your thing. You know what it is for you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not Coca-Cola. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the most common mistakes people make when it comes to make decisions about their design and their branding elements, okay? First, thinking that design doesn't really matter, okay? We already covered that. Design is super important, okay? People make their opinion about you super, super fast. And the way you look is going to help them make that decision really quickly. And you know it's true. I want to show you some like business cards I have here, but I don't want to like make anybody's example like, you know, like, oh, this was awful. But you know what it's like when you go to a networking event and you get 20 cards, but you don't want to make 20 phone calls and you don't want to send 20 emails. But so you do it for the 3 that actually stood out in your pile of business cards that you have in your hand. And you tell me if you don't do that. You're like, oh, this one is like, I don't think that this is going to go anywhere. Or, oh, this one, I don't even remember who that was. Or this one, you start making reasons why not to do something. Right? That's what everybody else do. Okay? So, or does. That's what everybody else does. Okay? So, you're exactly like everybody else. Realize this is what your clients are doing. Number 2, mistake. Design that looks pretty, okay? Oh, it looks so pretty. I love it. It's like, it's perfect for me. And like, I love pink, so it's pretty. Okay, guys, it's not about you. It's never about you, okay? It's about your client. I don't care if you like pink. You like pink, that's great. Buy some pink shit, okay? Don't put it on your brand if it's not relevant to your target market, okay? And I know women make that mistakes all the time. They're just like, oh, because my favorite color is gold and pink, and I love swirly, like kind of like text. Like, so what? You're pushing away your target market. If you are trying to attract any kind of men or ballsy women, they're not even going to stop and look at you.
Or
So know
sometimes
what
they
they
can't
want to
read
see.
their business card because the writing is so swirly and they might have yellow on top of pink, then it doesn't go together.
Actually, the scurvy rating, just so you know, guys, really hard to read, especially on a website.
Mm-hmm.
And like you don't want to spend extra seconds figuring out something because your time is valuable. Other people are like that, okay? They're not going to read something curvy and cute if it's hard for them to understand what you wrote. Okay, so you're losing them. You're losing them. So think about that. It's not about what looks pretty. It's about what attracts your target market. So every time you make a decision based on that, every time you make any kind of design decision like this, oh, I think it looks pretty, or I like it. Personally, I like it. Remember me saying to you that that doesn't matter, okay? Think about your target market. Do they get it? Are they attracted to it? Does it speak to them? Okay. Number 3, that's what everybody else does. Okay. So these are design mistakes like, you know, oh yeah, I'll do it like this. That's what everybody else does, right? I'll do it like this because, you know, I saw my competition. They're doing the same thing. That's what I'm going to do. Awful. First of all, you basically look like them now. So you don't stand out. You blend in. So that's not a justification. And besides, who knows that they know what they're doing? Right? Like, who knows? Do they have me as their branding strategist? Maybe not. So don't listen to them. No, I'm just joking. This is just a silly example, but you know what I mean? Like they might be also making decisions based on nothing. So you trying to mimic that as if like you're assuming they have it all figured out is a mistake on your end. If you know more about your branding, more about your identity, more about the way you look, you make the decisions that are right for you and your message. I don't care what other people do. They might be they're not even getting what you think they're getting. Even if they have a lot of likes, you don't know how they got it. It might be not from the way they look. Okay.
I've heard someone also, this was a few years ago, they were trying to brand themselves to mirror a very large company. And I was baffled because they're like, well, people will look at me as if I'm the next such and such, but do you have their branding dollars? Do you have their marketing dollars? Because it's not a competition between you and this massive corporation.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you brand yourself just like them?
Exactly. And it's something that we touched last time. Last time we talked about you got to be authentic, right? And the advantages you have as like whatever it is that your unique state is. If you're a smaller company and you're trying to compete with a bigger company, there are advantages there. So make sure your target market sees that. Okay? Every time you're doing something like everybody else, first of all, it means that you're probably making the same mistake if they made a mistake. And second, you're not interesting. Like you just repeated somebody else's thing. So I don't know if it makes you feel good. And I know it is. I know this is something that makes people feel good, like they're part of the herd, or if they're making a mistake, we're all making that mistake together. So they don't feel too bad about themselves. So think about that, because I want to make sure that's not why you're making these decisions. It's okay to be inspired by others. Okay, and be like, oh, I see this seems to work. Maybe I'll do my own take on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. Okay, but if you're just like justifying your action by saying, oh, that's what they do, that's bad. That's bad. Number 4, confusion. Okay, and I think I said that before. A confused mind does not buy. Okay, if you're creating confusion in your client's mind, they're not going to buy from you. So if your design is not aligned with your message, they're confused. Okay, that's why you need to be delicate about it. If you are giving the impression, for whatever reasons, through colors, through different elements, that you are doing one thing, and then for example, okay, everything is pink and there's butterflies in the corner, and then you say, I empower, men to do, better in construction sites or whatever. They have no idea what you want, okay? Because they're like, this is not talking to me. I don't understand this. Your message is completely like not aligned with the way you look. Now, obviously this is an extreme example, but think about it about things If it's a luxury brand, let's say, I don't know, let's think about let's say Porsche or something like that. Okay, their cars, it's a luxury car. Their logo is not purple and swirly in Comic Sans font, right? Because that doesn't say luxury. So you have to understand the design needs to be so aligned with what you're trying to do that it's automatic. People know what you are. They know you are a luxury brand. They know that you are mostly for women. You know that you are mostly for kids. They know that, okay? Because when they're confused, they're not buying from you. They already don't like you, okay? Because people don't like to feel confused. They feel stupid. Okay, so next point, attracting the wrong target market. So whatever it is that you're doing, you are attracting the wrong kind of people to you. For example, if you are trying to get high-end paying clients for something that is very unique and high-end, but your design elements and the way you kind of like dress up your company is very simple and soft and intimate, you are attracting people who have a lower budget, because that's what they're hoping for, something that's simple and easy and comfortable. Okay, people who are looking to spend a lot of money on something because it's unique and high end, they want you to look like that. So that's going to happen to you when you're trying to get one target market and you keep getting phone calls from the wrong target market. And when you're going to continue getting phone calls from the wrong target market, you're not going to sell them because there's not going to be a good match. Okay. So it's like saying, okay, if you want to compare it to a date, you are very interested in finding a man who's totally like casual and awesome that you can cuddle with and watch Netflix all day. But when you go out on a date, you dress up in like, I don't know, luxury gowns and like a fur coat or whatever. Do you think you're going to find a man like that wants to cuddle with you and watch Netflix? Probably not. Okay. This is not what he's going for. So stop attracting the wrong target market. You'll sell better. Okay. Next point, managing costs and giving a bad impression. So I know as a small business, you're always worried about cost. So you're trying to get the most done for the smallest budget possible. The thing is, what seems to be the most done is not the most effective way to do something. Okay. So for example, I know we talked about business cards. So we're going to go back to business cards, and I also want to talk about that more. So if you are printing 500 business cards for $30, they look like that. Okay. So I know it sounds awesome. You're getting a lot of cards for a small amount of money, but you're giving bad impression. And if it looks like cheap quality or like, bad printing, really flimsy paper, you are leaving this with someone, and that is what they're getting. That you're like just a bad impression, that you don't really care, that you do the minimum necessary. Do you think that your clients want to think of you as a person doing the minimum that's necessary? Because they're not going to feel like they actually want to work with you that way. Do you see my point? That's why sometimes managing costs actually means investing your money in a smart way, not the cheapest option. Okay. And 7-7, I don't know why I wrote it like that. 7-7, not standing out. So not standing out, it means playing it safe. Okay. So you're like, I'm just going to do this because this makes sense. This is simple. This is easy. This is what everybody else is doing. It's very similar to that, but you just don't stand out. So it means that when I see a bunch of ads, I don't even notice your ad there. If I'm getting a bunch of business cards, I don't even notice that your business card is there. You need to give reason for people to take a second look at you. A second look. That's a win right there. Okay. If somebody takes your business card and just goes like, yeah, okay, thanks, and put them in their pocket, that's not a win. Okay. A win if somebody took your card, looked at it, and stopped for some reason. Okay. Some reason. Oh, really? That's cool. Or like, oh, nice, whatever, paper or something. Oh, I didn't realize that you did that. That's funny. Some people, what they do, actually, I did it with one of my clients recently. We did their ad and we printed it. I'll give you an example just so you understand. The magazine is like this, but we created the ad like this. So basically in the magazine, as you get the magazine and you realize that something is wrong, and you turn the magazine to read the ad. They just spend a few extra seconds on your ad more than they spend on anybody else's ad. So that's a win, because people see ads everywhere. They see companies everywhere. Give them a reason to take a second look. Okay. These are the most common mistakes. So now I'm going to expand a little bit more about business cards. And the reason I want to do that, and I wanted to focus, because I wanted to choose one element that I know you all use and you all need, and I'm going to give you a bunch of advice about that. Because I go to a lot of events and I get a ton of business cards. And I got to tell you, I very rarely stop and say, oh, what a cool business card. Because I know for most people, it's like, whatever, let's just get as many as possible. So I'm going to talk about why that's not the best thing. So the next slide, I'm saying, I know what it's like when you network and you hand out like 50 business cards, but people don't call. And that's so frustrating. You go and you network and you're like, oh, we talked and, he seemed very interested and it seemed like it's going to work. And it seemed like, like we can do business together and whatever. And you hand out so many business cards and nobody's calling you back. Or you get one miserable email from someone. And I can tell you why that happens. It happens like that because you didn't make a lasting impression. You can go to the next slide, okay? So 5 reasons. 1, your card didn't leave a lasting impression, okay? So they got the card and ignored it. Maybe the conversation was good, but when they went home and looked at it again, they felt nothing. Nothing to take action on it, okay? 2, people don't remember you. Why does that happen? Because they don't even know what this card is. Maybe you're very, very unclear on what it is. They don't remember. And I see cards. I'm going to show a quick, you don't know who that is, okay? Guys, super quick, all right? So much text on this thing. So much text. And someone literally said that to me. They gave me a business card. It was like the length of a flyer. And I was like, oh my God, there is so much stuff on it. And he said to me, well, get the most out of that piece of paper, right? And I was like, wrong, right? Because getting the most out of it doesn't mean cram all of your life story on your business card, okay? Keep it simple. Keep it simple. People don't like to think. People don't like to figure out what the hell you just did. People don't like it when you're forcing them to do like, what is going on here? Who is this? What is that? Where am I calling? Where is the number? People don't have patience, so don't make it so complicated like that. It doesn't make a good impression. It makes a very bad impression, okay? Also, they have made up your mind about you, which means you didn't look good, okay? They got the card, they looked at it and made up their mind about you already. They were like, I bet this person is not serious, or they're not that talented, or they're not very successful, okay? They already made up their mind. And why? Because people just need one reason not to buy from you. Just one. Because it's easier not to call you, not to send an email, not to follow up, and that's what they're going to choose if you make it easy for them, okay? Number 4, they're confused, okay? And that happened to me. I got a business card, and I don't know who this person is. I'm like, it's a person I just met yesterday, and I don't know if this is the card. Because your attitude, your messaging, your style is not resonating with your card, okay? So if you all know me well enough to know that when you meet me and you know the name of my company, you see the connection, okay? You see the connection. There's this fire, this dynamic. I use words like, dominate and attract, and like there's a reason. Because people meet me, they see my card, they know who I am. They're not going to forget that connection, okay? And some of it can be as simple as wearing your brand colors when you go networking, okay? Again, it's easier for people to make that connection. And also, like I said, it could be your language, okay? Because if I say in my card, and I say, sex up your brand, dominate, attract, stand out. And then when I network, I talk like this. Yeah, so, I'm pretty good. I do all sorts of things, and it's super pretty. Will you even, if you pick up sex up your brand after, will you even consider that it might be mine? No, because it's confusing. She's so timid and shy and sweet, and then she's all and this card is all dominate and pushy and in your face. That's not her, right?
And there,
think about that.
I have a great example, and it's memorable, but for the wrong reason.
Okay.
I recall going to a book signing event probably about 5 years ago. And, it was at a lounge, so it was a really fun environment. And we just got to meet a lot of people just in that environment. But still, you're there representing you and your brand. Mm-hmm. And I remember meeting a lady and having probably about a 15-minute conversation with her. She gave me her card. I looked at it, so I remembered the card. And also because I didn't go around collecting cards at that event. I was just there just to have a good time. And yeah, if you meet people, you meet people. I got home and I looked at the card, and I didn't look at the content of the card. I just looked at the overall look of the card, and I thought, just based on the look, she was like, I don't know, a psychic, astrologist, something along those lines. And based on speaking to her, I kind of figured, oh, yeah, that could be right. Then I read the card and realized that she was a business coach.
There you go.
I'm
That's
like,
bad.
this makes no sense. She had like a image of, the galaxy, and I just didn't get it.
Yeah, that's awful. And that's my point of like, don't just put something you like. That's irrelevant to what you do. Okay, like it's confusing. I told you that example about this woman. She gave me a card and I thought she was in construction. Okay, like I swear to God. And I was with that card because I remember that I told her that I'm going to send her an email. So I'm looking for her card in my pile of cards, and I'm like, it's not here. I'm like, none of it looks like this might be it, because immediately I took her card and I was like, no, this is some guys doing construction. Like, off it. Like, it took me so long to find it because of that. Okay, so don't confuse people. And number 5, the reason they don't call you, you don't stand out. They took so many cards and they decided they're not gonna call you because they didn't even think that you're worth it. Okay, so next, your card needs to show immediately. Okay, and just like Granny just said, okay, like immediately, she just looked at it, she didn't even read. Immediately, you need to show your value. Okay, your value, what you think you are worth. Okay, and how serious you are about your business. Okay, it needs to show. If it's a hobby, good, make it look like it's a hobby. If you're super serious, make sure it looks that you're super serious. Your message and what you care about. This is the branding concept, your message and what you care about. And I know I gave this example before, but for example, if you're in health or something and you want to give this example, that like this message that you care about the world and health and supporting the planet, it's nice that your card is from recyclable paper. Okay, it gives the right message. It resonates with who you are, with your identity, with what you care about, and probably what your target market cares about.
Yep,
Okay?
especially now, if your target market are millennials, you better make sure you're coming with some recycled product because they are big on
They love it.
sustainability.
They love it. And for a good reason. This is amazing. It's good to support the planet. Okay? But I'm going to give you an example. I have a client. She has a business card that is like literally metal. Metal. Okay? Metal. Not paper. Okay? You tell me what kind of like when she showed me that card, I'm just like, good. We don't have to work about that. Like, because this shows that you think that every time you're handing out your card to someone, you are worth at least what, $5-10 when you hand it out. Okay? You're not worth 20 cents. This is how much you're worth. Metal. Okay? Now, I'm not saying go and print a bunch of metal cards. This is the answer for everything. I'm saying it needs to resonate with your brand. Okay? For her, she's smart and she can make sure that you can make millions of dollars. It needs to show. If she tells me that I can make millions of dollars and she gives me a piece of paper, well, one side print, but the other side is white, and it looks like flimsy and awful, I'm just like, really? Where's your $1 million? What did you do with it? But freaking bajillion business cards, whatever. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So it needs to work with who you are, with your style, and who you're trying to attract. Okay. It also needs to show what field you are in right away. Just like Gwenny said, if it looks like you're a psychic, okay, and you're not, that's a problem. Okay, that's a problem. If you're in the food industry and your card, when I look at it, I feel like you own a gym, that's a problem. Okay? Because people make their decisions really, really fast. And number 5, it needs to show what makes you different. That's the reason that people are going to take that extra look. Okay? Whatever makes you different, whatever makes you different from your competition. So basically what field you're in is what makes you like your competition, right? Like what is the similarities that people know where you're coming from, what you might be into, and what makes you different. The one thing that will make them say, wait, hold on, this is different, or like, this is interesting. And some of it, like I said, could be the paper. When you're handing out a metal card, people don't just say, thanks, bye-bye. You just say, holy crap, she gave me a metal card. That's that's a reason to give a second look, all right? And I don't want to hear excuses, which is something I always say, because that's the next slide, because the reason doesn't matter. Results do. So I don't want you to give excuses for yourself, like, well, you know, especially because, by the way, people did that to me as they're handing me their business card, okay? They're like, oh, this is just a temporary card for now because it's just like I needed something for today. And like, if you feel like you need to apologize for your card, that's a bad card.
Don't give it out. You're better off not giving it out.
You know what you can do if you don't like your card? And that's, by the way, superpower move. If you still need a little bit of confidence, you say, hey, give me your card. And you say, how about you give me your card and I'll call you. Okay? Power move. That's exactly like on a date, okay? The ball is in your court. Okay? The power is in your hands when you take somebody else's card. So don't feel like, oh, I don't have cards right now. I just started my business. No, reason doesn't matter. The reason doesn't matter. Only results matter. Okay? So I even had somebody handing me his card and telling me, oh, I know you're in branding, so you're going to like judge it. I'm just like, you know, I will. Like, it's definitely going to happen. And he said, well, there's a typo on it. It's just so I can like see who's like smart enough to notice it. I'm just like, so you're saying you didn't notice the typo, so you printed it with a typo. Now you're handing them out because you're too cheap to reprint it. And now you're telling me that you want to test me to see if I find your typo? Wow, you're attracting me so much by saying that. Right? How would you feel if somebody's like, did you figure out there's a typo in it because I'm super clever and people don't notice it? Do you want people to say that to you? Do you want to find someone who thinks he's clever or somebody thinks that you're clever?
I'd probably respond by saying, you told me because you didn't think I was smart enough to find it.
Yeah, exactly. So just letting you know, guys, okay? The reason doesn't matter. Reason is basically another word for excuse, okay? So I don't want to hear them. If you have them, that's great. Keep them to yourself. Just care about the results, okay? Good. Because you can't afford making mistakes. That's my last point that I want to make. When you're in a small business, you can't afford making mistakes. And what does that mean? It means if you are printing a bunch of business cards and they're kind of like all right and they're kind of like whatever, then you are making a mistake because you could take a little bit more money and make a lot more impact. And that's my point. When you invest in yourself $20 more, you're not getting $20 more back. You're getting like, you know, $2,000 back. You know what I mean? The potential of you investing a little bit in yourself can grow in like crazy directions. And I love the fact that my some of my new clients, after I told them about these things, they make the kind of decisions that make me proud of them. They say, yeah, I worry about money, but they say to me, I like the way your business cards feel. Can we do the same thing? And I'm like, yes, it does cost more though. And they're like, I don't care. I know how I felt when I held your card. That's what I want people to feel when they hold my card. So just to understand what that means. So by the way, because I'm talking about business cards so much, I decided that since this is such an essential thing for all of you, I'm going to create a special deal for you. This is like something I just came up with, okay? If you want to upgrade your business cards or you want to order a new batch and you want to spice up or sex up your brand, right? I created an agreement with a vendor who's a printer that they're going to give a special pricing to all of my clients. So also what I'm going to do for you, I'm going to make sure that you don't have to pay for the design. All you're going to pay for is the printing and my help with it, which is not going to be expensive. Just I'm going to be with you. I'm going to make sure that you get the design you want. You don't have to pay my designer. I'm going to cover that fee. And we're going to order new business cards for you because I want to make sure that you make the impact you deserve. When you hand out your business card, no apologies. You fucking proud, okay? You hand it out like that, bam, that's my business card, bam, okay? So this is what I want. And if you want that, then you need to send an email to Dwayne and I'm going to take care of you, okay?
I think it's a great idea because it's funny. I have a lot of business cards. I have a lot of different types though, because I can't give you the deal that Sharon's giving you, but Vistaprint's been good to me because we've been partners. So they
Yeah, I have
send
lots
me
too because I
stuff.
do like lots of different things, right?
Yeah.
So
So I would definitely take Sharon up on that because your business card speaks volumes. It needs to pop when people see it. And you also need to be the person who pops with it so that they remember the two
absolutely.
of you together. But yeah, it's funny, while you were saying that, I had a great business card idea that I don't know if I want to share, but I'll share it. So normally you don't want to give people things that they will throw away. However, in this day and age, I really wanted to do some special business cards that are Canadian Small Business Owned branded, but I want them to be seed cards. So
Yes, I've seen that before.
I really want to do that because I don't have a problem with people, digging a hole and putting my card in it, but every time they see the flowers, they'll remember me.
Yes, that's a reason for them to take an extra look.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of that. Actually, I had a client who did that on a tea bag,
Oh,
and it was very relevant, obviously, because it was like a coffee and tea place.
yeah.
But yeah, you just make sure that you like honestly, just so you understand, though, guys, you're doing it like that. Every card you hand out is going to cost you more money, obviously.
Yeah, but it's
Okay,
going to mean something because then I'll choose who I'm giving those to versus the other one. So if you got a basic
exactly.
card, I'm sorry.
Exactly. So the results you're gonna get. So like, don't think about it in like, oh, but with this one, like I get so many, and like with this one, I get so few. Think about the impact that you are making when
Hmm.
you're making that kind of investment.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, it will change your confidence. And I know this is something that we all want, to be like really confident about what we do. It will make you feel really good when you hand out a super awesome business card.
Yeah.
Okay, it's hard. People are like, oh my god, like it's amazing. It has like
I feel
different
like I need to
stickers on
find a
it.
card. Like you just keep pulling up these cards and I'm like at
I
my
have a lot of
desk.
things that I do.
Where are my cards? I have so many different kinds.
Where's mine? This one. This is how you know
Thanks.
this is mine.
I have another one here somewhere.
You see this? The gloss.
Yeah, and also that's another thing, you all, when you're going to get business cards, um, always feel free to go and test out the different papers so that you know exactly what you're getting.
Yes,
Don't
that
be
that is
afraid to
good.
ask.
That's something exactly that I guide my clients through, because I tell them like, this is how it's gonna feel. It's gonna be softer. It's gonna be nicer. Like it's gonna be more like rough. Like I had a client. She was super skeptical about the whole experience from the beginning. She's like, I don't know. I can do this. I can do this. And the funny thing is, she's a stylist. Okay, so she's like, it so matters what you look like. I was like, well,
Yeah.
it so matters like what your business looks like too. So when she told me her budget, and I was like, fine, I'm going to do the best that you can possibly have for that budget. Okay. Just so you know. So, cause that's how I do it. Like, I'm not saying you have to spend a lot. I'm saying, give a budget, we'll make it work.
Right.
Okay. So, when she picked up her cards, my goodness, she called me. She's like, oh my God, it's amazing. It feels, and it's gold, and it's like beautiful, and it looks amazing. I'm like, yes, exactly. And now when she hands out, and I saw her, when she hands out her business card, she's like this. This is me. Give me a call. This is what I do. You can feel it. Like she's so excited by it. And she has a reason. Like it's a card that people will hold. Like if it's thick and like people don't feel good about throwing it. Just so you know.
This is one of my cards. It's double-sided. It's great.
Yeah. But I'm telling you, if this your card is like this, people don't want to keep it.
Solid. I have
Look at
probably
this,
4 different styles, but they all speak the same language, if you can tell.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a lot of different styles, but they all have to say the same thing. Well, not say the same thing, but they all have to.
Way.
Yeah. But I really do like these business card ideas because, networking is huge for all of us. The other option I usually do, because I'm the queen of tiny purses, I don't always carry cards, which is bad. Don't listen to me, carry cards. But if you know that your social media platforms speak the proper language, then you can always feel free to go, hey, you know what? Follow me on Instagram, because then you'll know where to find me.
Well, exactly. Actually, some people, they feel the need to put all of their contact information in the card, and they have so many things, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook, I'm on this email or this website or whatever. No, sometimes it's better you have the one place, because again, people don't like choices. They don't like to see a lot of things.
Yeah.
If you want them to go to your website, make them go to your website. Okay. Put the website. If you want to add one more thing, like that's fine. But really, I don't want to see these ones. Wait, I'm going to give. Okay, like this.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff.
I just don't want you to see who that is, because I don't want to like anybody. But that's a lot of option. That's a lot of option.
And then make your contact information visible and easy. So, you know, make it be your business name, and hopefully your business name is easy.
Yeah, well, that's my point. Make it easy. Make the experience easy for people. People don't like to think. People don't like to think. When you ask them to think, they don't like you. Yeah. Okay. And I wanted to answer, I think I saw a question saying, how often you need to change your business cards? Yeah. Well, if you have a good brand, you don't need to change your business cards. You do it once right, and you don't have to change them.
Yeah. And then it says, is it normal to have multiple? It's not normal to have multiple, but no. To get the
only reason,
promo
for
box.
Example, I have.
Yeah. So I just, they send me stuff. So
she has different businesses.
Yeah, but also I have multiple because Vistaprint used to send me a lot of samples of different things they designed. So that's why I have so many. But I have, this is my regular, this is my standard card that I always use.
Like it's normal. Like this is my company, but for example, I manage a magazine and I have a segment on national TV. I don't use that name because it's not the name of the show. So I have one for the show, right? So when I go, so when I go to events, well, who's gonna be on my show? I don't know. People I like, and they're like super.
Do you see me like peeking over as if I can see your desk? Like I'm going, what's the name of the show?
Yeah, like where's the card? They can't see.
Yeah, I can't see it.
So like I have cards for that, for example, and I also have other projects that I developed. This, for example, is one of them. So this is another card. So it depends where I go, what I do, where my meetings. I have different cards, but. No, it's not normal. It's only crazy people who do a bunch of things at the same time who have business, different cards for the different things that they do. So actually, for your sake, keep it simple. If you feel like you do a lot of things and you just want one card to just have like your name, like your personal brand instead of your company brand, it might be worth it.
Agreed, because then you can still lead them to one place so they can get all the information they want from that one place.
Exactly. So yes. So I hope that you learned enough that you know what you need to do when it comes to just like one aspect of your branding, and how important it is to leave this kind of like really strong impact with people, especially when you leave a piece of you behind. That's your business card. You leave it behind for it to do the work for you, right? To sort of follow up on you later. Make sure that there's a reason to follow up. Okay? Because as charming, as wonderful as you are, if the next morning I don't remember it and all I see is something that I was like, who the hell is this? Then you're not going to get me to call you. Okay?
So with everything that Sharon said and piecing it all together, you do have to remember, this is why it's important to have someone who specializes in branding, especially if you're looking to rebrand or just brand to start. Because again, your brand is not just going to be your logo. You need everything. So let's say you are trying to do that rebrand and you need to build your website. You need to take care of all your social media pages to make sure they're speaking the same language. Even the littlest things as your, social media icons that you would use on all your paperwork, they need to reflect your brand. You need to make sure you have your color codes. That's important because when, 6 months from now, when you want to go and get some stuff printed or designed, you want to be able to give the exact codes for all your brand colors so that everything.
And you don't want it to keep rebranding and rebranding and rebranding. That's a waste of time and money.
Yes.
Do it right first. Like one time, do it right, and you won't have to constantly keep doing it. I just have a client that basically just sort of graduated. She just started her business like 2 months ago. Okay. And she was super smart about it. I mean, obviously she had like a really good branding. Whoa, hold on. My computer is ringing. So like, obviously she had like someone amazing like me to support her, but regardless, in a matter of 2 months, she has accomplished more than a lot of my clients because she actually stuck to every single thing that I told her, right? Like her brand identity now is amazing. And it's from each corner, no matter where you see it, the consistency is there. People feel the same thing. She's getting asked to be like to come and speak in different events. She's getting asked, like she barely even started anything because she's already making this impression that she is serious about what she does. And that's something that you do through the way you look. Jesus, diseases.
You're very much sought after, I see.
Okay. Clearly, I only have 1 hour to do a webinar. If
Yeah.
a little longer, I'm like desirable by everybody.
Well, everyone, I hope you learned something because I sure did. And I have to look it up on my phone because it's still brand new. But if you are on our mailing list, you will be seeing something. You'll still be getting our new regular newsletters, and you'll still be getting our event calendar and our webinar updates, but everything will have its own unique look, all under the same brand, speaking the same language. But there's also another segment that we are adding in, and we are working on it. We're working hard on it. It will come out in May, and you'll get a piece of what we're calling Inside Conversations with Dwaynia. So you'll get to know a little bit more about me and sometimes my thoughts and some tips. So I think it will be interesting. It is a different take because I'm very outgoing, but I'm not very outgoing with telling you much about me. So you'll get to know a little bit more about me, what makes me tick, some of my thoughts, and I think it will be a nice way for us to connect with each other because I will be looking forward to responses to those inside conversations so that we can have a conversation. That's the whole point. So I think it will be fun. And I would love to thank Sharon for all of her wisdom because, again, always homework to be done whenever Sharon's around because...
Oh, you get things done with me. You don't just learn shit, okay? You go and do it.
You do. Sharon reminds me of someone else I usually have speak, Yvonne Ruque Aquaveda. She is an amazing coach, and she's usually the person, every time I mention Yvonne, this is what I think. And every time I think of Sharon, this is what I think too. Get that work done. Get that work done.
Exactly.
Get that work done, everyone. And of course, this webinar will be available to rewatch. And you do want to take Sharon up on her offer, so make sure you send me an email.
Please do. Like, I'm not really making any money out of it. I just want to make sure that you guys make some kind of an impact when you're starting, your business, and things are actually like you're leaving something behind you that matters. Because I know a lot of people, they have great services, great things that they have to offer, but they make such bad impression.
Did I type your correct email? It's sexupyourbrand.com?
Yes.
Perfect. So yeah, you can also email Sharon and definitely take her up on that offer because you want to present yourself because there are going to be a lot of great summer networking cocktail type events too. We have a meetup every first Friday of the month in different locations. Just join our Facebook group, or if you're on our mailing list, you'll find out when and where. And we want to see those fabulous cards. Don't let me look at your card and go,
I like that. If anybody's coming to the event in August where I'm going to be speaking at, I'm gonna do a personal business card competition. How about that?
Ooh.
I'll choose a winner and I'll give a prize.
I might have to up my game. Okay, I'm not eligible to win. But everyone who registers for August before May 1st is eligible to win a ticket to see Michelle Obama. So make sure you register ASAP. So you can register for the Niagara event and you can register for the August event. And then you'll be able to come out. Are we eligible if we have you already help it? No, Amanda. Or else everyone's going to want to be in on this. I have a few tickets. A few tickets that we're giving away. So if you're going to be in the Toronto area next week, make sure you get on it. So thank
Awesome.
you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the week because it's getting nice out. And Sharon, thank you.
You're welcome, guys.
And I feel like I'm matching your walls and you look like you should be placed here.
Yes, I can see that. That makes sense.
Look at that. Huh. Mustard's the color.
My wall is yellow.
Okay. Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Oh my gosh.